What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick. Welcome to my shop and welcome to my first official video cutting some lumber on my homemade electric bandsaw mill. Now at this point I've had the opportunity to cut about 800 board feet of plain sawn lumber. I actually did a small stack of like 120 board feet of 4/4 dimensional lumber, and so I'm kind of familiarizing myself with the whole nuances and little details of milling wood in general because I'm very new at this. And so my videos right now aren't going to be very technical. I'm not trying to tell anyone how to cut wood. I'm just trying to have fun with the process, cut up some urban lumber, and share off the experience with everybody. So I'm not going to dig too deep into details about the machine. We'll get to that later in some other videos, but for now, we're just going to cut some wood and have fun with it. So let me show you what we got today. Today, we are going to be cutting this black walnut log. This thing measures about 6.5 feet long. It's got a cool little crotch segment right here. I've got all the bark stripped off of it. This log's actually been sitting on the ground for a minute, so there might be some areas that we can't really do a whole lot with. This crotch segment here, how wide is this thing? So at the widest down here, we have like 24, 25-ish, 24, 2 feet. 2 feet wide. It's average about 16 inches in diameter. I think down at the end here, it's a little narrower, but we got some knots. We got some cool curl hiding under there we can see in the outer layer of the log. And so let's break this sucker open and see what we got. All right, and as for the saw itself, I've got a fresh blade on there. I'm running a Ripper 37 1¼ inch wide blade with a 10-degree tooth on it. Nothing too crazy, just your standard blade from Jerry's Resharp. That's what I've been running on this saw so far. I've had one box of the blades and I'm about 6 or 7 blades into that box. And so I have nothing really more to say about the blades. I'll learn more as I cut more, but for now it's cutting great, it's cutting flat, and I'm not sure what more you could want from this. So we're running it. So let's get started on this cool log. Okay, so I just cut this little stump off, and now let's just take her down, and I'm gonna cut the whole top flitch off of this because most of this is gonna be sapwood that we don't want anyways. And so let me take this first establishing cut off the top, and then we're gonna flip this thing over. And I wanna be a little bit conservative because I don't wanna take too much off the top. I'm hoping to get maybe 4 or 5 good slabs out of this thing, and I think I'm going to cut them to 8/4, maybe. Let's see. All right, we got cooling on, blade. Okay, I can see the camera's like right up in my face, so we probably have to move the camera a little bit. Yeah. Turn off the blade, probably a good idea. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right, let me grab the camera here. Show off what we got. Okay, so we just made our first cut. We got a little bit of the heartwood poking through, mostly sapwood, but that's okay because I really just wanted to get a flat surface on there, and now we're gonna flip the log over, and that way it's not wiggling as much. I did notice it was wiggling a tiny bit as I cut, and so I wanna make sure we get a nice, smooth cut surface. Man, look at some of that curl in there. I could tell there's some cool stuff hiding in there. There's little waves on the outside of the bark and everything, so I know there's some figure down in here. These branch crotch segments are always pretty cool, so this will be a fun one. Okay, so at this point we're gonna flip the log over so you guys get to watch me struggle. So this will be just a blast, just an absolute blast. And I apologize for the heavy breathing. I know I probably sound like a grizzly bear right up here in this microphone, but this is what we got. I want to make sure you guys can hear me talk while I cut, so I don't really know a better way to do the sound situation. Put him in here. If I'm acting really awkward with this stuff, it's because I am. Everybody's new at this stuff at some point. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna slide him down. And then we're gonna lock it in the middle with this guy. Let's go a little harder. Oh yeah. All right, I like that. The angles that I film from are gonna be pretty experimental while we get started, just because I'm figuring this out. I think this is a good shot too, because we can see how my dust collection works. Compared to just letting it fly everywhere. Because if I had dust flying down on the floor, it would be a mess in here. Okay, so that's 10.5. Let's go down another 1/2 inch. Ish. Okay, we're right at 10. So I'm gonna run it there, and my log stops are good and out of the way. Yep. And this knot on the left side is just going to clear my outfeed guide. So let's do it. Hold on. Before I forget, I'm going to adjust my little ruler to the 8/4 mark. This slab is narrow enough where I feel like maybe I should cut it a little thinner, because I don't want to just always have 8/4. I feel like there's people that are going to like thinner stuff, especially if it comes at like a little cheaper of a price point. Yeah, 1 3/4 inch thick will yield 5 nice slabs that aren't too beefy, that I could offer at like a 6/4 price point. I feel comfortable with that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. But let's show you what we got here. I'm also gonna try to do a lot of this filming in like just one take, so that I could just clip that up and not have multiple clips that I'm trying to edit. That's a pain in the butt. Editing is hard. Editing is hard, so props to all you guys that do this on a regular basis. This is awkward. Part of why I haven't filmed anything yet, because I wanted to kind of learn how to use the damn thing before I tried to film too, because it's a whole new learning curve I gotta take care of. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Very nice. It's only gonna get better when we get down to that crotch. And that stops okay, and that stops okay. So I can make one more cut before I need to move my stops. Don't want to join the club on my first video. All right, coolant on, or lubricant on, blade on. Get up to speed. feedback on this push arm is really nice because I can feel kind of when I need to speed up or slow down. It feels very natural with my hands here. And I've got it at the height of like a lawnmower. Oh dude, this stuff is beautiful. It's like, who doesn't like walnut? Let's be honest. If you don't like walnut, there's just something not right about you, dude. So I have three other big walnut logs that are much larger than this, but this is the first one that I've cut on this mill. So this is a really cool thing to see. Man, it's crazy how green it is before it oxidizes. Beautiful stuff. This tree actually came out of Vinings, Georgia, which is a city right outside of Atlanta. So this is a through and through city log, baby. All right, let's cut another one. So we'll check over here, everything looks kosher. All right, we got lubricant on, blade on. Let's let it run while I film this thing. And this cut is just above the pith, so we're going to trap, well, at least from this side, it looks like we're going to trap the pith in the next slab. Tension in this thing, that end just kind of poked up when I went through the cut. Oh my God, dude, the crotch, you guys. All right, let me get this out of your face here. Stuff. Got some of the pith poking through, so there's some areas that are a little bit of, you call it checking when it's the pith, or what that is. It's the pith, I know that much. Wow. Beautiful. All right, we probably got 3 more slabs out of this thing, maybe 4. I think 3 sounds about right. All right, so we're going down another 1 3/4 inches. So we're at 21.5. We need to get to 23.25 on my scale. So 23.25. Let me just measure. Your eyes will play tricks on you here, so just like, if you think you're gonna hit something, just take a minute and measure. I feel like that's just a safer route, at least for me. I'm still very much a noob at this. Saw on. Yeah, this could be the widest slab that we give the whole log. this one, oh my God. I'm gonna keep this one. Just kidding. If I kept everything that I liked, I'd just keep everything. It wouldn't even make sense for me to do this. I'd never sell anything. Oh, she's heavy. Roll this back so you guys can see. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so excited to put water on these. Looking good. Lubricant on. It's all on. Let's do it. Check her out. Gets a little choppy at the end here, and it kind of has a little dip right here where it gets soft for some reason. Everything else is super flat. Beautiful. Okay, so I decided to flip it and just, because this is kind of a sappy side anyways, and that way the curvature of the log flares out to my log stops and I don't need to have any weird blocking on there. Perfect, yeah. That puts the top segment about 5/4-ish, so we'll get something from that last one. Charcuterie cut off or something like that, something usable. All right, lubricant on, saw on. Last cut of the walnut log, here we go. Charcuterie cut off. Something like half the slab, the whole thing's that you savvy guys. Alrighty, so here's our last one on the back side. Little chewed up here, but not punky. It's still pretty solid. Gives it character, you know, some people really like that. It's a lot more work with epoxy and stuff, but that's okay. If that's what you're into, this is why we can save this type of material. All right, let me get all these slabs outside and lined up and we'll spray some water on them. Okay, so here we go. We got the log all milled up and we got 5 nice thick slabs and we got 2 little skinny guys. This one on the end here is like 6/4 and this one on the end, this end is like 4/4. So just kind of charcuterie cut off type sizes. But the 5 in the middle, I cut to 1 3/4, so they'll finish about 1 1/2. Since they're a little bit narrower, I didn't want to just cut like 3 big 8/4 or 2 1/4 inch thick slabs, so I opted to go something a little thinner. So I have some nice walnut I can offer at a little bit of a discounted price point because they're thinner. So let's spray these guys with water. That's the good part. Some of these have been sitting out here longer than others, so the ones down there are still a little more green. And wow. Check that out. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Doesn't take long for them to start turning brown. And look at this, where the dust was kind of sitting on the board, kind of covered it from the sun. So there's parts that are brown and there are parts that are still green. Be cool to do a time lapse of these oxidizing. Some serious stuff right there. Don't know how well you can see it. It's super bright out here. I can barely see the screen of my phone that I'm filming on, but it's looking good to me. That's quite a reveal. We got some bug holes, not ideal, but it's character walnut. I mean, we're not trying to cut FAS type material here. This is project slabs. These would be perfect for little hallway tables, floating shelves. You can make some coffee tables out of these guys. Charcuterie, little cutoffs. This kind of stuff is fun because the logs aren't too big. You can't handle them, and the slabs are still manageable. Once you get into big wide stuff, you need some serious gear to even move it, and that changes the whole process. So we're just kind of starting small, and we'll work our way up and max out the saw as we familiarize ourselves with the process. But for now, I'm happy with this, and I'd say that's a pretty good haul for a couple hours work, don't you think? Sweet. All right, guys, that wraps up today's video. I had a blast cutting that log up. The wood was amazing. The saw ran great, and really couldn't ask for much more. We're gonna get all cleaned up here. I'm gonna get those slabs stacked and stickered in my other warehouse where I'm storing all this stuff. And I hope you enjoyed. Gonna be a little bit of a learning curve, learning how to film and edit and all that kind of stuff. It's a whole nuance I have no experience with, so bear with me. If you guys have any suggestions on how I can improve my filming style, please drop them in the comments. And if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, whatever, drop them below, and like, subscribe, do all the normal YouTube things. And I will catch you guys on the next video. All right, take it easy. Bye.